Annette, and the goals by IPP. IPP Jane. Can we all stand up for the norms?
For what we are about to receive, may the good Lord make us truly thankful and ever mindful of the needs of others, especially those in most need. Amen.
I give the toast to the highest office in the country. The President of the Republic of Uganda.
The four H's of the things we think, say, or do is first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, President. The goals of Rotaract. The first goal is to develop professional and leadership skills. The second is to emphasize respect for the rights of others and to promote ethical standards and the dignity of all useful occupations. The third is to provide opportunities for young people to address the needs and concerns of the community and our world. And the fourth is to provide opportunities to work in cooperation with sponsoring Rotary clubs. Thank you, President.
Thank you for all those who have taken us through this session. Next, we'll have, do you have any apologies? I have one apology from Josephine. She's defending her profession. I didn't receive any other. Many people are organizing, but I don't see any member here. Do we have any makeups and visits? Yes, I do.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President. On Tuesday, I was with our Sergeant at Arms, John Peace. I was with Harriet, Josephine, and Michael. We attended fellowship with Mother Club, where they were giving the program of the burial and vigil of our late president. Yes, we were able to get some information. I'm sure more will be shared today. Thank you, President.
Do you have any more makeups and visits? So at this point that I encourage all of us, I know right now is a bit a tough time for us as Bunga, but going way forward, we need to visit other clubs, we need to do makeups so that we'll get the same return. Do you have Rotary information? I'll start with mine. I think most of you received a link in your inboxes or via the WhatsApp chat. Only 25 people have responded so far. It's really important for all of us to register, and the deadline will be this coming week. We need that information as soon as yesterday. Then I'll communicate, IPP will communicate about the burial arrangements for the late Samuel Majega. Then tomorrow, there'll be a PR training. PR is public relations. It's happening not tomorrow, on Saturday. It's happening at Hotel International, and it will start at 8. It is free. You're all encouraged to go and attend because there will be helpful sessions for all clubs. Do you have any more information? IPP, I'd like you to communicate to us about the barrier arrangements.
Thank you, President. Allow me, our club admin, to communicate more about the barrier arrangement. I believe we had. Sorry for the ambush.
Good evening, friends. The news I got, the body is arriving tomorrow. We are not yet so sure of the time, just like they had communicated, but we anticipate the body arrives at around 10. They take the body to the funeral home around Mengo, and after, the body will be brought to Konge for the vigil. And after Konge, at Konge at around 2:30 p.m., that's when we expect A+ to bring the body of our foreign president. So we shall have the vigil tomorrow, Konge. Rotarian Emma had proposed, I think I go to one of the tags as Rotarians or the Rotary family that we should buy for clear identification. Unfortunately, I just forgot mine somewhere.
I have the tag.
The tag bears our president's image, the late president's image, and the names. So, and after Konge, we shall be having a service on Saturday at St. John's Church. The last meeting I attended, the last meeting I attended, partially, they requested if we can, Rotarians or Rotaractors, participate fully in assisting them to direct maybe the Rotarians, the seating arrangement, the parking, and to manage a few things. So after the service, the body will not be taken back to Konge. They just drive to Kungu. Kungu is the home village where we shall have the second night. So after Kungu, they'll go lay the body in Sengeje. That's the brief I have about the program. So I request all the Rotarians and Rotaractors present, if you can manage, let us be there in time and on time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, club admin, for that communication. Do you have any more information?
Club admin should have mentioned about the transport means. Yeah, kindly enlighten members about if you have.
Thank you, President. So there's a bus already that has been prepared by Mother Club. They need fuel of just 20,000 to start moving on Saturday. So the plan is that Costa will move you to church and from church to Kungu, where the vigil will be on Saturday. And it will leave Kungu the next morning to go for burial in Senge. But when I was talking to Rotarian Emmanuel today, he told me that in case there are people that might not be able to go to Kungu on Saturday, but want to go for burial, they'll make another provision. So he says, all of you that are around, because personally, I will not go to Kungu, but I'll go to Bari. So he said, because we shall have such categories of people, they'll organize transport for the Costa to come back and take people. But I think that people need to register early. so that we know this number of people are the ones we are taking here, this number of people we shall come back and pick them. Otherwise, if there is anyone else who will be traveling on Sunday, I already have one person who is also traveling on Sunday. Please let's twekunganye so that we can see that we can find an easier way of moving if we are many. Thank you. But the cost is 20,000 only.
Thank you, IPP. Maybe just to stress a bit, it is a bus for Rotarian Teddy Nasua, St. Maria Goretti is the one we're going to use. And kindly, I just appeal to members to register, because I think the list was put by someone. Maybe was it yesterday or today morning? Probably yesterday or today morning. But I think no one has registered yet. Oh, you registered, yeah. But Mother Club has registered and people are ready to move. So if you don't register, then they will not know whether you want to go or what. So they may leave you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all the information. Probably they have their transport means, maybe. At this juncture, we'll have our guest speaker. Our guest speaker of the day is one of our own. If you all remember when I was addressing you some time back and we were talking about our work plan, we suggested that every one Thursday of the month, a club member will be telling us or sharing about his profession. Today, we are blessed to have Eddie, and he'll be telling us more about how to work professionally in the workplace. Apologies, people online. Do you have anyone with Rotary information? People online?
Yes, good evening, President.
Good evening to you.
Yes, President, this is Joe Sarwada from Rotaract Club of Rubaga. President, I'm here to pass Rotary information of LRC Bulange, which is going to be chatted tomorrow. The guest speaker will be our own, the Katikiro of Buganda, and the cards are running for 100,000. The celebrations will be at the Buganda Royal Institute. Buganda Gardens, and the flowers there, the gardens, tomorrow starting at 3. So please come and join us. This is a sister club to LRC Rubaga, as well as LRC Rubaga Lakeview. Thank you, President.
Thank you, Joe, for that communication. We shall have one more communication online. If there is none, then we'll continue with our guest speaker information. I'd like to call upon Eddie to, who's going to introduce you? 20 people. Okay. Grace will be introducing our guest.
Good evening, everyone. Our guest speaker today is Edward. Good evening, everyone. Our guest speaker today is Edward Tumwine, journalist by profession, digital communication consultant and trainer, PR director, Rotaract Club of Bunga, and he's also a Chelsea fan.
Eddie, the floor is yours.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, thank you, Fenebade Group, for organizing this. Like they've introduced, my name is Edward Tumwine, and I'm glad to be invited here as a guest speaker. I'm the PR Club Director of Rotaract Club of Bunga, and today we're going to be looking at professionalism at the workplace. Many of us who are Rotaractors, even Rotarians, we are professionals in different areas. So it's important that we get different tips of how we can thrive at the workplace, okay? Many of the times this information is not given to you as you're going to start beginning to work from campus. So this kind of orientation is good to guide you on how best you can conduct yourself at work and be most effective. And today our emphasis will be looking at how to professionally write good emails, okay? I know this is something that is not talked about most, but it impacts a lot on your efficiency at work and how you communicate with different people. First, why are we having this session? Okay, remember our main topic today is professionalism at the workplace. And every one of us who joins any entity to begin work, you know it's important to build trust and credibility, okay? When you're working in a certain area or in an office, you need to build rapport, first of all, with the people in the organization and also the clients that you're working with. So one of the ways in which you can build this trust and credibility with the people you work with and even outside people, your clients, is knowing how to write professionally good emails. And it's what we're going to look at today. Okay, how can you write compelling emails? If you've been in work for quite some time, you know that many people who are joining for the first time do not have this knowledge. And so you find someone sending an email, let's say without a subject, or even the language used is not really professional, okay? So today we want to look at how you as a Rotaractor, you can stand out where you're working, how you can professionally communicate and know that what you're saying is clear, concise, and actually has an action point to it, okay? So let us begin off. First, we're looking at why is email writing training important, okay? This is not something that is on the curriculum in university, but when you begin working, you get to know that this is a skill or something that you needed to know before you joined, before you started work. First, it's an effective way of communication. Many times, if you're going to speak to clients, you're not going to call them all the time. People are busy and they're engaged in very many activities. So email is one efficient way with which you can communicate to people and get your message carried across clearly. Secondly, it creates a good first impression, okay? If you're writing to someone for the first time, the way you introduce yourself through that email goes a long way with how they will continuously communicate with you further. If your initial email to someone is not properly well written, then chances are highly likely that that person will not take you serious, okay? Because people take emails very serious, and if you're writing in slang, or if you have very many punctuation errors within your email, it lowers the chances of that person doing business with you or even taking you serious, okay? And it's also a way to promotion. I know this may look a little far-fetched in terms of promotion, but many times the people who employ you or your superiors look at how you constantly communicate with people. Is it professional enough? Are you clear as possible? And all these lead to ways in which you can run up your ladder wherever you are working from. Okay. Sorry, I think presentation has gone off. Just a minute so that the network can come back. Apologies to the people online. We're getting the connection sorted so that the presentation can come back. Okay, I think you can see it now well. Okay, apologies for that. My connection had gone off here where we were projecting. Yes, we were looking at while email writing training is important, we had looked at it's effective for communication, creates a good first impression, and it also leads to a way to promotion. The people online, can you see the slide?
Yes, please.
Yes, we can.
Oh, I think I need to put it off slideshow so that we can, because here it's not showing like it's here. Okay, sorry, we're trying to sort the presentation out. Okay, so now we are going to look at the tips for writing professional emails. Okay, and the first one is definitely setting your objective. Okay, the objective of why you are writing that email. Okay, it's very many times you go out to write an email and you have not said clearly what you want. When a person reads this email, what shall it result into? What do you want them to get out from this email? Okay, so it's important that you plan well to know, let's say, if you want maybe your email to result into a person taking action, it's going to help you judge how you form that message. Okay, if you want the email to lead to any type of action, you have to put it with you have to make sure that it is within the way you're communicating. Okay. Go to the next slide. Go to the next slide. Yeah. Is it showing there? Okay. So the first thing, also after setting your objective well of why you want to write that email. Secondly, it's important that your email name, okay, your email address name and profile picture are professional. If you're writing to a serious client or anyone else, don't let your email address name have your nicknames that you use, okay? People are going to judge you from the image that you're using as your profile picture and also your name. If you're called Kato, but your email address is nashwanda@gmail.com, someone is going to wonder why Nashwanda is writing to me about a proposal, okay? So it's very important that your name, your real names align with your email address name, okay? There someone can take you seriously immediately, plus the image you use. Of course, these are all personal choices, but if you want to work professionally, then you will find yourself, you have to use an image of yourself. Don't use a cartoon or your favorite musician on your email address, because this is how people are going to write to you. And those are, like we said, first impressions. When someone looks at your email address, the first thing they'll look at is what's the name and the image being used, okay? So all those, that's very important with the way you carry yourself professionally going forward. Next, we have looked at the goal. Very important in goal setting. When you're going to write an email, what is the goal behind this? Do you want follow back action? Do you want a response immediately? All this should be embedded within the way you write that email. Okay. Next. Then it's also important to have a very good compelling subject line. The subject line is the first thing that the person sees as soon as you send an email, okay? Before you open an email, it's the subject that shows. So if your subject is not compelling enough or it's not clear enough, then most cases, someone may think it's even spam email, because people receive a lot of mail. And within those thousands of emails, is yours standing out? If you're emailing people who are very busy, people who have a lot of things going on, you need to ensure that your subject line compels them to open your email, okay? I have an example right there on the screen of a subject line. You can see that it's clear, the subject, before opening the email, that this email is about a monthly meeting happening on 5th June, 22. So you find ways in which you can write a good subject line where it communicates immediately. As soon as someone opens the email, they know that what the content they're getting is worth of their time. Because, ladies and gentlemen, one thing today, people do not have as much time. People are driving, people are reading emails on the go, people have a lot of things on their mind. If you're sending an email and it's not clear and not communicating enough, you'll find that then you'll start complaining, why did my email take long to be responded to? And sometimes it's not because a person did not care, but it's because of these simple things, okay? Having a good subject line is one way in which your email can be taken with good professionalism. Next. Then after the subject line, it's also important to have a compelling greeting. When you're starting to write an email, don't just go straight into the subject, okay? It's always good to begin by politely starting off with a dear or greetings, okay? Depending on also the relationship you have with the person that you are emailing. If you're emailing someone familiar, who you've been probably talking to over time, you can even begin by saying hi Joanna, hi Leila, okay? But if it's someone you are emailing for the first time, it's always good to be safe. You can say dear Jen, or greetings Mr. Fisher, so that you come off professionally. I'm sorry I even mentioned that Mr. because here on this slide, it's important to avoid certain things like Mr., Mrs., Miss. You do not know the person you're writing to if they've just gotten out of a relationship or if they're still married, and these things may trigger the person that you're emailing. So to stay safe, you can leave out the whole dear Mr. Katerega. You can say dear David Katerega, so that you stay safe, because the people you email with the Mrs. title or Miss, and it triggers them off. Okay, and you do not want just your greeting to be the reason as to why somebody does not read your email. Next. Then having a strong attention grabber. After your greeting, it's important that your opening sentence determines if your email will be read or not. Many times, if you're writing an email and someone does not have background information of what you're sharing with them, it's always important that you provide context. Before going into the depth of the email, give context, give reason as to why you're writing that email. Don't just dive into issues because that is what you're writing. Always give some good background information. And for example, I can state that if you are saying, you can give background information on basing on the Rotary celebrations that happened last year, our club has come up with the following resolutions. Don't just begin off by saying the club has resolved that we are going to get chartered in this month. It's always good to provide context to somebody so that they see where you're coming from, and then you lead them into exactly what you want them to do within the body of the email. Next. Then keep the message precise, short and precise. People, like I said at the beginning, receive many emails a day. So it's important, after you have started off with a good subject line, a good greeting, and also the opening statement is good, go straight to your message. Don't, it's not good to go around the subject, okay? After your greeting and then a good opening statement, go straight into what you want to communicate. Instead of, many times we turn emails into storytelling. You want to give a very long description of where you're coming from. As long as you provide good context in the beginning, go straight into what you're communicating to the person, so that they do not feel like you're dragging them along the whole email, okay? And one way we can be precise with the way we communicate through email is through the 7 C's of communication, okay? These 7 C's help to guide us, not even in emails, but it could be the way you're tweeting, even the way you share out information on a day-to-day basis. So let us look at these 7 C's. These 7 C's, the first one is clear. Make sure your objective is clear. Avoid very complex words. Some of us always fall into this trap. You're talking to someone of a high level and you feel like you need to exhaust the whole dictionary and get the most complicated words. And yet, the thing is not about being complex. It's about being as clear as what? As possible. Then concise, keep it clear and to the point. This is what I had said previously. Don't meander around too much. Go straight to the point so that you do not waste somebody's time. Then be concrete. This is being specific, not vague. Many times you're writing or you're sharing information and you're not as clear as possible. Actually, all these 7 C's are interrelated. They have a correlation between each of them. So make sure what you're saying is specific and not vague so that you're not meandering with what you're saying. Then correct. Are you saying factual things in your email? If you're saying that this meeting was attended by 25 people and yet an audit of that meeting or reports show that 18 people attended it, then you're sending out unfactual what? Wrong information. And that is where we were talking about. You might lose a client on that ordeal because you are sharing information that is not what? Factual. So it's always important. All the information you put into writing in email is correct. Then coherent. Does it make sense? Is it logically flowing? You bring that's why I said it's always important to provide context. Bring someone from somewhere, giving background information, then taking them to where exactly the information should lead them to. Okay, it's not starting from the end point and then going back to the beginning point. Let it have a flow chronologically from the first point where that is providing context until where you're leading them to. Then complete. Make sure your information in the email is complete. Ensure that it has all the details that you want to carry across. Okay, and it's important before you write your email, you can probably list down everything that you want this person to know, all the details. There's something that we call the 5 W's and H in writing. If you want to show someone, the 5 W's are where, when, who, what, why, and how. Okay, those usually help to give you a good all-round message if you want to communicate something that is complete. Okay, then courteous. Be courteous as possible. Don't come off rude within your message. Okay, even if you are triggered and you are angry, always think before you hit that send button, because the more courteous you are, the more someone takes that email within good faith. Otherwise, if you receive an email that triggers you off and you're probably angry and you respond in that manner, then it may lead to even a deal being cut. Okay, so it's important that you remain as courteous as possible. Remain as courteous as possible so that your email is received in good faith. The sergeant is here warning me. I'm almost getting there. Okay, then being consistent with your font. Even when you're emailing, there's always a font type that you're using. Many times people copy, let's say, your information from a Word document and paste it into email after they've written the greeting, and it may have a different font type from what you are using in your salutation. Okay, so it's important that you have a uniform font type throughout your email so that it's not deterring to the eye. Someone sees that your work is organized and clear from your greeting to your end. Okay, next. Then when you are closing off your email, there are always polite ways with which, some polite words with which you can end your message with. And this is also, it also is based on what type of response you want from the person. If probably you want them to get back to you quickly, you can say, looking forward to your what? To your reply or to your response. But you can use any of these terms as you end. Sincerely, best regards. These are words which are safe that you can work with, that you can sign off your email with, and no one feels offended. Remember, we said being courteous is one of the ways you can professionally write your email and it's carried on well. Next. Then, very important, before you send that email, proofread it. Don't just send after you've written everything. Always important, go through one more time or twice. Make sure all the things that we have looked at are there. All the facts, is it clear? Are you courteous? Is it concise? Is it complete? Then after, spelling, grammar, there are people who don't take you serious just because of your tenses or even just because of one mistake, okay? And that can cost you at the very highest level. So it's always important before you send that email, cross-check to ensure everything is factual and correct. Thank you. Any questions? That's the end of the presentation. Take questions.
Thank you, Eddie. Now is the time for Q&A. Here we have 2 questions, I think. Yeah. We'll take them up. Then also people online, in case you have any questions, we'll get them after the people here. Sajid. Sajid.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Edward, for the very informative presentation about writing emails. I actually don't have a question, but I have a few things I believe I can add on the same subject. Edward talked about the titles of Mr. and Mrs., but if you're writing to someone who is a doctor, let's say the person is a doctor, professor, and you know those are their titles, please use them. Those people get offended very easily. Also, use the person's name. Usually when you receive an email and it's like, dear Jane, hello Jane, how do you feel? So always make sure you know the person you're writing to and use their name. And also if you're writing an email to like 2 or 3 people and you don't want to do BCC or CC, you're addressing all the 3 of them at once, it's possible to use dear Jane. You put, what do they call it? Edward. You put, when you're addressing like 3 people in the same email, you can say dear Jane, you stroke, in it, stroke, Edward. So it means you're talking to the 3 of them. Because usually when you put someone in CC, it means you're talking to just the one person who was in the main email. So that is also helpful. Then if you're writing very many things in an email, one other way to make it precise is to put bullets. Let's say if you have points, you have like 4 points that you want to put in the email, you can say, I have these matters, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes it easy for someone to easily scan the email and also read them. Then also to highlight important dates and information. Have you ever received an email where the dates or the action you're supposed to take is bulleted, like is in bold? And usually when you open the email, it's the first thing you see. So if you want to have a very important date you don't want people to forget, make sure you highlight it, or an important point. And then also at the end, if you want someone to acknowledge that they've received your email, before putting sincerely or take care, you can put that line of, please acknowledge receipt of this email. Usually you send an email and you won't receive a response and you think maybe these people didn't get it. But if you want to know that they actually got it, you can ask them to acknowledge receipt in your email. And then also a very good tool that you can download on your computers that helps with grammar is called Grammarly. You can install it, you can just sign up for it. And whenever you write your emails, or even if you're writing an essay or an article, it helps with some of those grammar things, but it works very well with email. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President. We're having a challenge here. Someone is asking, what is a spam email? Second, first is spam email, and the other thing is someone is asking still, how can one tell that this is a spam email?
Can you first take the questions, then you answer?
You answer at once.
Or can answer one by one.
Okay, you can say yours.
Thank you, Eddie. Mine is just to seeking for clarity from the second guest speaker, the one who was, you talked about when you're addressing to a person, you know, you can either use a name like Dear Jane. So I'm just concerned if I'm writing to a minister or to a president and I know the names, can I use the same?
She's not on. She has gone now. Let's bring them. Thank you, our speaker tonight. My question is, at the end of the email, is it a must always put regards? Because like for real, I don't know what regards mean. Me, I prefer sometimes to say thank you, but sometimes you put regards just because you see people using it. What does it really mean? Thank you. Any questions? Spam good, I think you can be replying that for now.
Okay, I can respond to these queries that are coming in. Someone asked, what is spam email and how can you identify it's spam? So spam email, this is email that you intentionally do not want to receive. And it could even be harmful email that is from sources that are not really legitimate, okay? Though sometimes it comes from legitimate sources, but there's a way your email can grade it and put it in a spam folder, okay? Emails have spam folders where you can find these emails that are probably that you do not want, that could be harmful. Some emails actually contain viruses. I hope we are aware of this. You can be emailed information and it has documents that are viruses, or even people who are trying to con you. Emailing system is also used by con men, people who are trying to get information out of you through your credit cards. So sometimes those emails go in your spam folder, okay? So it's always important, check your spam folder, because sometimes you can find there an email that has gone there that actually is intended for you to read, that is actually purposeful, okay? But most of the times, it's unwanted information that you'll find in the spam folder. Then there was a second question. As you sign off, yes, does it, this was from Rotarian Katerega. Yes, there are, that's why when I was showing there are different ways in which you can sign off. And it's also dependent, understanding who you're writing to. You can't, if you've written a message wishing someone well, or like, and then you can end with best wishes, because it's in line with what you've written. And even the position of the person. Of course, you cannot write to the president and you say best wishes, or you need to end polite. There are usually terms that you can use, like yours sincerely, kind regards, words that are safe, that cannot offend anyone easily. So you look for those terms that can really, where you're safe, and also dependent on who you're writing the email to. Then Rotaract Jane Peace asked, is it a must to end off with a sign off, let's say like regards? Well, like I said, being courteous is one way of how you write good emails. Of course, you can end your email and just write your information and even put a full stop and don't, but people are, these things are emotional. As someone is reading your email, they're reading your body language, they're reading how you think. So the way you sign off, like any other normal conversation that you have with anybody, you're like, hi, then you say bye. If you just talk and you leave, miss you. If you're writing to your boyfriend or something, or your girlfriend, you probably want to, at the end, we all wrote letters in high school. You just don't end a letter like that. Dedications, drawings, then you say, love and miss you. So same as email. Find a professional way with which you end what? The email. Any other questions? So from Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, President. And the presenter, I'm making an inquiry. In the view of promotion, how can we better our emails to have either part of the logo, the company, and the address? Where can you put it? And another thing, as you're signing out, like you have the kind regards, can we make it automatic, that you just create the body and automatically it has kind regards and has the name of the sender and other things? Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Michael. So first, in terms of the address and your details, there's what we call an email signature. Sorry, I should have been part of this. This signature are your credentials, like your title, your telephone number. As a professional, it's important that you have a good signature, okay? That probably indicates your title, your job description, and even your social media, important links, like probably your LinkedIn, where someone can contact you for further information. Because if you're emailing someone for the first time, they'll probably want to call you after. So your signature, your email signature should have your credentials, links to your social media channels, and where people can contact you further. If it's an organization, then probably you could even put the logo below, okay, so that it's known. If there are some important sites which you can even have your website there as a link, so that someone can be compelled to go there for more information. Is there any question online?
Thank you, our guest speaker. I think we're done with all the questions. Do you have any question online? I'd like to call upon Joanna to give our guest speaker a vote of thanks. Sergeant, I know we're out of time. I beg that we borrow just 10 minutes. as we wait for Joanna to come and give us a vote of thanks. I guess speak a vote of thanks.
Hello, everyone. I hope the individuals online can hear me. We'd like to give a round of applause to Rotaract Edward Tumwine for the very beautiful presentation that he has given us. And to everyone online, thank you for sparing your time to listen in and for the comments that are coming through. And for those present, thank you for turning up in time to give him audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Before we have our final toast, we'll have Sergeant perform. Members, I would also like to apologize. At the start of fellowship, we didn't have introductions from visiting Rotarians and Rotaractors. So I beg that as Sergeant performs, we'll have introductions. I think we'll start with the online people, then we'll have the people physical here. Yeah. They're visiting. Sergeant, you can perform in the meantime. I think people online have already registered in the chat room. We'll have late introductions here. Then Sergeant performs.
Even members, I'm Rotarian David Katerega from Rotary Club of Bunga, and I'm the youth director from the Rotary Club of Bunga.
David, you are always welcome.
Thank you, President, and thank you, everyone. Good evening. My name is Rotarian Nakamanisa Leila from the Rotary Club of Bunga. I'm happy for the presentation today. Thank you, Edward. President, I would love to introduce someone who I would love her to join the Rotaract Club of Bunga. She's Nanteza Percy. She resides in Bunga, and she's a varkist. She was here to enjoy fellowship.
Hi everyone, good evening. Introducing my guest, she's Annette Matha. She wants to know more about Rotaract and she would love to join. As usual, she's coming in my birthday group. Yeah. She's a businesswoman status. She's single according to who is asking.
Thank you, membership. Mildred, I'm going to request you to remain standing. Mildred is our membership director. For those who didn't know, I'm just recalling. Mildred, I want to give you a task right now. And it has been with us for some time. I don't know if you're the one mentoring her. Oh, really? Proceed. Could you please stand up? Okay. When you join the Rotary family, as your way to be inducted, you go through a mentorship session where we'll continue to tell you more about Rotary and Rotaract. And at that later stage, we need to be sure that you're ready to join us. Mildred will assign you a mentor before us so that we get to know someone who will be moving with you through that journey. But most welcome. Mildred. Which Simon? Kaziwa. Simon? Yes, you're going to be mentoring our guest. You're going to mentor our guest. Yes, you can check her contact number, you'll move her through. Yes, and the rest, you'll be giving us feedback. You remind her of our fellowships and other activities we'll be having. In case she doesn't turn up, you'll be accountable. Yes. Last week we had a guest, Michael's brother, your brother, Herbert, right? Your brother was here last week. Jam session, eh? Okay, hopefully next time he'll be able to join us. Sergeant, you have only 2 minutes to perform. Okay.
Thank you, President. When membership director was introducing the guest, she talked about the guest joining her birthday group. I believe we still have a pending birthday group, either assignment or discussion. So, President, when can we have it so that we can even have our book where we sign come out? Because it's not able to because of the birthday group names. Yes.
Thank you, IPP. Members, I would like to bring to your attention, we're able to purchase 2 books. One is a guest book, the other is the secretary's book. Our book is being delayed because of one thing. We sent out a link for everyone to register. Most of you haven't registered yet. Through that link is when we'll get the birthday group numbers. I request that before next week, Tuesday. In fact, Tuesday is very far because these books take a while. By Monday, if you haven't registered under your birthday group, we may be forced to do hard decisions. So my prayer is that we all register using that link. If you didn't get the link, we are going to re-forward it to the group. Please register. Yes. After that, we'll have a forward of the birthday groups. Alan will communicate after fellowship. I guess, where? Esther, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you everybody online. Thank you for joining us and our dear guests and visitors. Thank you for joining us for fellowship today. We had the following clubs joining us for fellowship today. We had the Rotary Club of Bunga. Then we had the Rotaract Club of Rubaga. Then we had the Rotaract Club of Entebbe Airport. Then we had Rotaract Club of Avance. Allow me to just mention. Then we had Wakiso Central. Then we had Liantonde. We had King Caesar University. We also had Mbarara. and finally Kalisizo. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Our sergeant collection tonight is 21,000. Buddy group attendance, Chitaferi had 6 members. Online, we had Sharon Susan.
Yeah, she was online.
As per last year's. Yes, we had Gerard. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Taferi, 6 people. Let me skip Chikajo for now. Papali had 6 members. Then Fene had 4 people. Then finally Chikajo. Then finally Chikajo. Finally Chikajo. Excuse me. IPP, I'm going to charge you a $1 for interrupting my session. Chikajo. Yes, so Chikajo, please be serious. Encourage your members to come for fellowship. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm also requesting, not requesting, the club admin has been talking throughout the fellowship.
Thank you. Again, there's a funny Sergeant. Thank you, Sergeant. Our treasurer, Grace, and projects, Michael. Both of you have 2 minutes. Michael will be updating us about, okay, not updating, will be giving us a brief report of the district project that happened last weekend. And Grace will be giving us an update on the Mavugo. Yes. Okay.
So that the district sergeant, this is my message to you, Sergeant. The district PR chair, District 9214, that is Hassan Temambo, says it's always important to recognize the district guests that be present. So in this fellowship today, we had Hassan Temambo, the district PR chair, and we had ADR Isaac Malisa, right? Yes, so please take note. Thank you.
Thank you, IPP. Michael and Grace, you have 1 minute. We are past time.
And Semakula, the club admin, we represented our city Bunga in a district project, and it was cleaning the market of Kajansi, and the DRR presided over, as well as JB Sengova, and it was successful. We had few in number, but we did our job well.
Mina Shababa, thank you.
Yeah.
Grace will give us an update on Mavugo.
It's on.
Shortly.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
So far we have so far received 285,000 for Mavugo, and 12 people have so far paid.
We are over 30 people. This club only 12, which doesn't even make half the number. I encourage all of you, whatever amount you have, be it 1,000, be it 2,000, because we are family. Today it's me, next time it will be someone else. So I encourage everyone to please give in something. Someone will give us. Secretary, have information. Okay. What? Yes. Let's first have the final toss. Can we all stand up?
For the wonderful fellowship we've had, I give a toast to Rotary International.
People online, thank you very much for joining us today. We look forward to having you more and more. Fisher,
Good night, guys. We have tea. Please don't leave without